Tell me about the tempo.
That's good. I can tell I've been training for Chicago and then Houston. The hills were hard, but yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Reed Fisher. I am a professional marathon runner for Adidas and Tinman Elite. Welcome to our 2025 Boston Marathon YouTube series. We are going to be sitting down a handful of times throughout the course of this marathon build and kind of talking about some workouts that I'm running, how they fit into the bigger picture of my training block as a whole, and kind of just running through what a 12-ish week buildup looks like for me and how different days fit into the context of that buildup. So without further ado, let's get into it. We are doing a long run, the first true long run of the Boston build. Out here at Left-Hand Trailhead. You're gonna run straight east for the first half of the run, which means you're running straight downhill for the half of the run, and then we'll flip and come back up. Little gentle entry into Boston course simulation. Should be nice. So at the start of this build, I actually did a little, I would say, like mini build, if you will. I ran the Chicago Marathon last fall in 2024, and then coming off of Chicago, I wanted to make a priority to really target a fast half marathon at the beginning of 2025. So I ran at the Houston Half Marathon, really great field, really great conditions, and set a new personal best of 60:54, which I believe puts me 15th on the all-time list for an American in the half marathon. It was a result I was super stoked with. I feel like I've been in sub 61 minute shape for the half a handful of times over the last few years, but due to a variety of circumstances, whether it's race conditions or injury or different factors at play, I just haven't been able to put that result out. So that was, I think, 14 weeks out from Boston. So we kind of had this weird build before the build, if you will. And typically when I'm going into a marathon build, I'm not maybe the most fit, and I'm certainly not half marathon PR fit. So it's been a bit of an odd, or just different, not odd, different start to the build. So let's talk about the first session of this series. So it's going to be the first long run that I did with a specific focus on getting ready for Boston. With that in mind, we've been choosing routes, both in workouts and in long runs, that kind of simulate Boston. So this workout was structured, this is kind of a staple for me and Coach Hunter. We did about 30-ish minutes of easy-ish running, and then the next half hour we'll do at a moderate effort, so kind of that one gear below tempo marathon rhythm, and then did a 8-mile tempo that was a net uphill tempo, and then my last mile was just a cool down mile. So it's been a cool start, to feel like I'm not chasing fitness quite as much. That's a big thing that has felt different to me. This go around, it's been much more of like an exercise in patience and temperance to be like, okay, I need to just not overrun things. I'm clearly already in good shape. But 12 weeks is a lot of time to bite off more than you can chew, whether it's overtraining, cumulative fatigue just piling up and you're just exhausted all the time, or risking injury. And those are three things that I'm trying to avoid at all costs. Number one priority is always to get to the start line healthy in a marathon. As always, I've been using Coros as a training tool to get me through all these big weeks. It's a watch that I've been wearing literally every day, almost every moment of my life for probably the last 6 years at least. I'd say the biggest metric that I've been using most in this build has been the base fitness. It's been really cool to see kind of the jumps in base fitness. Usually after a race like Houston, I'd maybe take a larger break and my base fitness would drop quite a bit, but because we've rolled right into the Boston build, it's been a pretty linear trajectory up as I continue to just train at a higher and higher level. I think at this point, my base fitness is higher than it's ever been in Coros, which is really encouraging to see as an athlete, just to know that you have quantifiable data supporting this sort of gut feeling that you're doing well and ready to have a great race.
How's it so far?
It's been good. I always don't really love this part of the long run. So you're just kind of like not running easy, but not running hard. Just biding your time, waiting, but also knowing you're just going to make yourself feel considerably worse for the hard part, because you feel kind of good now, but you're not going to feel that good after 10 miles of somewhat hard running. This being the first long run with quality in it, you never really know how you're going to feel on this kind of a day. It's just that kind of frenetic, nervous energy. I think all of us felt relatively tired about 10 miles in, especially since it had been all downhill, so your body just feels a bit more of the pounding, and then it's also the mindset of knowing that you now have to run 8 miles considerably harder, all back up the hills you just ran down, can be a little bit daunting. But all things considered, we locked into pace pretty early. Our first mile was about 5:20, which was a bit of a throwaway mile. We were kind of chatting the first half, and I think none of us really were quite ready to commit to running hard yet. We were all waiting for someone else to be the first one to be the aggressor. And then at about the first mile split, I was like, okay, we kind of just need to get going. So second mile was 5:04, and 8 miles at roughly 5-minute pace is 40-ish minutes, which is, relatively speaking, still quite a long time to be out there running a hard pace. So you have those kind of ebbs and flows that you get on race day, which I always think is great mental practice for the marathon. You know, there were times out there where I felt great, my stride felt super fluid and bouncy, and I was like, oh, I think I could probably do this for another few miles, no problem. And then there were other times where I was like, yeah, thank God I have Joey here, because I don't feel great, and it's nice to have somebody to share the lead with and kind of go back and forth.
How's Reed doing?
Reed looks great. So is Joey. I don't know how fast they're running. I didn't ask.
And then we had Coach Mark on the bike, and that was really helpful in the last 2 miles after Joey was done with his workout. It was just me, and it was more uphill and right into the headwind, so it was a bit grindy. And to have Coach Hunter there and just on the bike and whispering sweet nothings and confidence into my ear was very welcome. Good to kind of feel that marathon discomfort again. You know, I don't really think a workout like this is really like painful in the way that like a VO2 max 5K focus session is, but it's just that like mental ability to be like, yep, you split your watch and you got to run hard for 40 minutes, so just deal with it, get over it, take it mile by mile, and you'll get through it. It's good to have that feeling back in play and know that it's going to pay off well in Boston on race day.
Okay, so what? Tell me about the tempo.
That's good. I can tell I've been training for Chicago and then Houston. The hills were hard, but
Yeah,
I think I
but that's
did a
good.
job
We
managing
really
it.
need to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
We need to be on the hills with our legs. So,
Yeah, I averaged 5:03, which is obviously more than fine.
did you get 7 or 8?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was like
Good.
5:03 pace when Joey dropped out.
Right.
What dropped out? When Joey was done with his prescribed workout, which he ran very well.
Which, yes, he ran very well.
And I basically just was like, okay, if I can keep it there, that'll be a good win, given I'm going to be
Yeah.
by myself and up the hill. So, yeah, no, it's good. I mean, I also just could tell I haven't been like fueling a lot on training in general in the last couple months.
Yeah.
Like starting the tempo, I was like, I kind of just feel like full.
Yeah.
And then Mark pulled up with my bottle at like 6-ish into the tempo.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm running up the hill. I'm kind of working hard. I don't really want
I
to
don't
take
really
this right
wanna
now.
do this,
But
yeah.
I forced myself to take a couple swigs, which I think
Yeah.
was smart. So, yeah, it's good overall.
Fortunately, that's not something you seem to struggle a whole lot with.
It's 19 at 5:40 average pace, so it's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
And that is kind of the breakdown of this first long run of my build. Again, we're going to kind of be doing a series of this more conversational sort of YouTube series this go around. We're kind of exploring some different avenues of content. We know you guys love the kind of workout and race day videos, but we wanted to be a bit more transparent and talk through some of the training and the reasoning behind it this go around. So there'll be probably at least a couple more videos like this, probably a workout video or two mingled in there too. So keep popping in, saying hello, and we'll see you in Boston.